Alongside me is Ian Hore-Lacy, Director of Public Communications at the World Nuclear Association. Thank you so much for coming in, Ian. We don't know exactly the extent of the casualties or the devastation that this will have if anything were to go wrong with the nuclear reactor plant.
Oh, we can be sure there won't be any casualties on any major scale outside, because the plants are designed to contain anything that goes wrong inside their containment structure. Now, all three plants have got very serious problems, and you've outlined some of those, so I think it's a bit graphic to say that one's blown up. Certainly there's been a hydrogen explosion in a second reactor in number 3.
But it's the case, so it's not actually
it's
inside.
in the building. It's not inside the reactor at all. It's inside the reactor building, in the same as number 1, which had no public health significance at all, although it's probably damaged the reactor quite seriously, the ancillary services, and no doubt the same will be true in number 3.
When you say that there were no casualties, they've evacuated 20 kilometers next to this nuclear power plant, but you believe that actually whatever happens, even if we see some very strong aftershocks, the problem won't spread, or there's not going to be contamination?
Yes, I'm sure of that. And I'm sure that the people who haven't been evacuated, namely the operators of the plants, are also fairly sure of it. And I doubt if any of them are too nervous about their long-term retirement prospects. But the government obviously is being very conservative in ordering this evacuation, and properly so.
And so no casualties, just because, again, not all of us are nuclear physicists. So if you explain why it's safe, because if there is some kind of an explosion, it will be contained in this power plant?
Well, there's no explosion that is possible within the heart of the reactor. It's not possible for anything there to explode. The hydrogen explosions were a surprise, and they're a novelty. I don't think those have happened in the industry before. And this is because of the fact that the fuel became uncovered in those 2 reactors, and you then get a reaction between the fuel cladding and the water, which makes hydrogen, and that's associated with some venting from inside to relieve the pressure. And so that hydrogen has been vented.
We are, though, getting some reports that actually certain people being tested have a small amount of radioactivity around 100 kilometers away from the plant. Again, it's been mentioned in the New York Times. Is this something that concerns you, or is this would be just normal in this kind of process?
Well, I don't know about 100 kilometres away. There's certainly some radioactive contamination nearby, but not anywhere near a level for health concern.
And so this is something that actually happens, and then people can live quite happy. It doesn't affect them in any way. Yeah,
well, I mean, it's in some cases just on their shoes and so forth, but there is some, and that's not ideal, but it's way off being a public health concern. And I got about 12 hours ago, I got a sheet of radiation monitoring data for around that Fukushima Daiichi plant, and there are no elevated levels that are a real concern.
Ian, thank you so much, Ian Hore-Lacy, for really putting the spotlight on, well, the fact that it's pretty safe for the moment.
Oh, yes. Well, I think it's safe, period. Yes.
Ian, thank you.